back to Mom and Just Women Talk Show. So how good to have you back once again on the self-management series. So today we are discussing on this very important topic we refer to as procrastination. Woo! This topic is very, in one way or the other, I'm sure every individual can relate to this. So before we go, please remember to subscribe to this channel, drop your take-homes, like, comment, anything that's, even questions. You can address our questions on here. So today we have with us an amazing man of God, and he's also here to do justice to the topic in terms of academic, spiritual, every diverse aspect to procrastination. Sir, you're welcome to Mom and Just Women Talk Show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me again.
Yes, again, thank you for this opportunity. I'm sure that you'll do justice to this topic. So let's hit the show, sir. Let's start by understanding what is procrastination.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma. I will say that procrastination is an act, right? It's an act of delaying or putting work that needs to be done aside till the last minute, okay? Or even past the deadline. Okay, that's what I would call procrastination. When what you're supposed to do at the right time, you are not doing it. All right, you put it aside up until the time whereby you even lose motivation because the deadline is almost the age and I've not actually done it. So it makes one to actually lose motivation and eventually drop that task.
Wow. Okay, sir, we want to also understand the causes. What are the likely causes of procrastination, really?
The causes could be, number one, could be as a result of low self-esteem. It could actually be a cause, okay, when you don't believe, or let's say low self-confidence, you don't believe that you can actually achieve that task. So that could lead to you procrastinating until eventually you drop that that task. And as well, another very cause could be a lack of motivation. You are not motivated, or you expect to be motivated in a way, and since you don't find it, you don't actually carry out that task. So that, and then another very important cause will also be lack of or fear of failing. Fear of failing. When you fear that you might actually not do well, right? Then that can actually cause one to procrastinate. I don't think I can do this thing, and then let me leave it probably till I get something that can motivate me to do so. Fear of failing can also cause one to procrastinate.
Wow. Just a recap, viewers: fear of failure, lack of motivation, and the first
low
one, self-confidence. That's, you are not confident that you can actually achieve those tasks. Those are the major causes of procrastination. So viewers, if you are having issues with procrastination, pay attention to this aspect, and I'm sure later on he will also help us know how to address these causes. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Thank you for your take on that. We also want to understand the types of procrastination, because I got to understand that there are different types of procrastination, and I do believe that we should shed some light on the types that we have existing.
Thank you so much, Ma. Yeah, there are so many types or people, okay, that we can define as procrastinators. Number one could be these people, I call them the warriors.
The warriors.
Yeah, the warriors. Those who don't, this set of people don't really believe, okay, they are always anxious. Whenever there is a work to be done, they are always anxious. They don't, they are the ones that lack this self-confidence. They don't believe that they can do it. And therefore, when worry sets in, you tend to push the work that you're supposed to do aside. So instead of focusing on the work, you are more looking at the consequence, or probably you are more worried about I can't actually do this. You are focusing on the worry part rather than stepping into it, and from there you'll be able to figure what you need to do out. Wow. So that's that's the one. Then another one, procrastinator are those we call the perfectionists. Wow. Okay, these ones they don't actually fear the fear of completing the task is not their worries, but them not doing it right the way they want to do it perfectly. So that way, because they don't have the time, they probably push it aside to say, no, I rather want to perfectly do this thing, or I don't even do it. I will cite an example. This kind of person could be they are looking for a right and good condition before they can start a business. Oh, I must have this certain amount of money. Okay, if it is not there, I'm not going to be. If I don't get the shop, or I don't get an office in this certain set of area, I will not be. I won't even want to. So by so doing, when they do that, they will not be able to achieve what they're supposed to do, and time will not just be there. And by so doing, you lose motivation, and at the end of the day, you just
nothing is achieved. Yes.
Then another set of people that I can call procrastinators are those who we call the crisis makers. Okay, this set of people are they believe that they can work better under pressure. Okay, that's their belief. So therefore, they delay things, okay, till the last minute, because they believe I can actually work well under pressure. So what's supposed to be done possibly in 10 hours, they believe maybe in 30 minutes.
Last minute.
Yes, last minute they can quickly do it, and by so doing, it really have impact on the kind of work that they produce. Wow. And then they mount unduly pressure on themselves, and by so doing, what's supposed to be done will not be done well.
Wow, wow. Thank you, sir, for your take on this. I can actually relate to the crisis one, because there are sometimes you just push the thing and like, okay, I will do it, and then when the time reaches the last minute, you don't even have time to go through what you are doing, and then at the end of the day, it doesn't come out well. So thank you, sir, for shedding light on this. Viewers, if you are watching and you can relate to any of this type of procrastinators, please, I believe that you should start working on yourself. If you are the last minute procrastinator, the warrior, the perfectionist, I believe that nothing is perfect in this life. Start with a step. Yes. Start, and then God will lead you as you go, in Jesus' name. Amen. Yeah, thank you for your take on that, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sir, let's also understand the pros and cons of procrastination.
Well, I want to dwell more on the cons than the pros, because they don't because number one thing is that the consequence of it is that there will be reduce in productivity, poor performance is what will be the consequence. There is an instance that someone was saying, I think there was a video done, or a TED talk talked about, someone was talking about how he wrote a thesis in 2 hours.
Wow.
So just imagine what that kind of, what will happen, what the person will actually put in that kind of document as compared to when you've actually started at the first beginning, the day you actually did your registration. So poor performance, there will be the content, okay, of the work will be haphazard. It won't definitely match with what if you take your time to do it. So that is number one. It leads to poor performance, right? Then another thing is that another very consequence of it is that what would I say now? It has to do with you miss out of deadlines, or you are not able to achieve your set goal. Okay, if there is a set goal that's supposed to be met, because you procrastinated for so long, you will not be able to meet up with the set goal. Yes. So I think I could stop.
Okay.
There are so many.
These two are very rich already, because basically for any task, I believe that we'll have a goal for it. And if you are procrastinating, you will not be able to meet up with it. So that, I think, is even covers for every other consequence. So please, let's also shed more light on your life experience with procrastination. Do you have any experience to share with us?
Of course. And even research has even shown that there's no one that doesn't actually procrastinate.
Right.
It only has, you have to be able to manage. You have to pick yourself up before it becomes a very big crisis.
Absolutely.
Okay. I will share a scenario where I actually procrastinated, and this was when I traveled back home. All right, that's in Nigeria. Right. So I went home, at least after a very long period that I've stayed away, and I had just a short period of time to spend with my family, people, and friends. And on the day that I was supposed to return, I actually procrastinated. I pushed the time that I was supposed to leave my base to the airport longer than necessary, thinking, oh, I think this I still have time. The traveling period I'm supposed to is just 1 hour or thereabout from where I am to the airport, so I don't really need to rush. I still have time to spend with let me at least stay with my family a little bit longer. And before I knew it, by the time I actually set for the journey, it was a really big problem.
Oh my goodness.
Where, there was an intersection between where I was coming to the airport, and there was a big old traffic jam on the way. And I didn't even know when I began to sweat.
You missed your flight.
I almost missed the flight. There was a delay. So if I actually left earlier, that wouldn't have actually happened. When I got to the airport, they've all actually closed the counter. I had to start begging and all of that before. Luckily for me, by the grace of God, I was able to meet the manager who I explained my situation to, and was able to at least have magnanimity with me and open the counter. And you don't know how much I was thanking God in the plane when I eventually
I can imagine the feeling.
My God. Because number one, I don't even have the money at that moment to book another flight. I need to get back to the base so that I can continue what I came here for. And it was a real lesson. I wouldn't try it again. So I rather be at that point, sit down
and wait,
probably keep myself busy with book or whatsoever than do such things. So that's I would say that I was lucky by the grace of God that I didn't miss the flight, but it was the kind of pressure that I put on myself. It was enormous.
Wow.
So that's is
my experience of procrastinating.
Exactly.
Wow, sorry I'm laughing about this. It sounds very scary, and thank God I'm happy you were able to make it last minute. You watching, you might not have been able to make it, and I'm sure that there are so many things that we do procrastinate. Sometimes we procrastinate during our school work, thesis writing, proposal submission. We'll keep pushing, and I used to have a friend that keeps pushing her deadlines for assignment until the last minute. If she submitted the next day, she starts that night and she'll be like under tension. Pray for me. And I pray for you for what? And it's not like the first time, So like that's like a crisis procrastination, as you have mentioned. Yeah, so thank you so much, sir, for even sharing your experience with us. I'm very sure viewers will learn from that. Okay, let's try to understand what people can do to overcome procrastination. We understand that every individual in one way or the other procrastinates, but what can they do generally to overcome procrastination?
Okay, I would say that number one, they have to change their thinking.
Right.
Having that kind of psychological, will I call it, reset, is very, very important in in a way by which you are able to meet all the tasks that you set. So we have to have a change of thinking that I would rather do it when I'm supposed to do it than pushing it. So pushing it has consequences. So number one thing is that we have to have a change of thinking. Then number two is that I will borrow this from Brian Tracy, who said that eat the ugliest frog first. Eat the ugliest frog first. That is, do the most important task first. It's very, very important. Yes, it might look daunting, but when you actually step into it, you will even see how much easy it is. So we need to do the most important task first. Then also, we should also prioritize our task in order of importance. Okay, set up your day earlier. Okay, how your next day will be like. Set it up, then prioritize the task and take it one step at a time. And the last take that I will give is take action. Do it. Do it now. That's what Brian Tracy always say. Say, do it now. When you say that, even saying it to yourself, do it now, do it now. And then the third time you say it, you just pick up yourself, and your system will adjust to that, and then you pick up yourself and you do the work. And by so doing, you will see that overcoming it will become a very easy thing to do. Wow.
Thank you so much for your take. Do you have any general take home for our viewers with regards to procrastination?
Well, the take that I would say is procrastination is a thief of time.
True, sir.
So, and we need to manage our, we cannot manage the time, okay? Just like I'm borrowing this word also from Brian Tracy, said we can't manage our time, but we can manage our life. By managing our life, we consequently, all right, manage the time. So it's very, very important. We need to overcome it. It's a stealer of time, and when we are able to manage our life very well, we'll be able to overcome procrastination, and then we'll be able to achieve our set goal in life.
Wow, powerful take home. Viewers, please drop your take homes. I'm blown away. I'm sure you are too. Until then, we'll see you next time. Bye.